Okay, my name Saravanakumar Kandasamy. You guys got my name? People call me Sarav. I mean, I tried in the beginning, tell my friends they can call me Saravana. They always go with Sarav, Saravana, something like that. So I make it shorter, like Sarav. So that's pretty much. I'm a designer. I'm working for TCL, and apart from that, I co-founded a design community in 2011 in India. And
you say focus on women?
Sorry?
Focused on what?
Design community.
Oh, design community.
Co-founded design community in 2011. And since I moved to China 3 years back, we've been started doing design events and design conference and workshops. And I speak at a couple of events about design. I mean, that's the only thing I know, design. And recently we started a design company, which we provide design services for startup companies. We provide them branding services, web designs, and e-commerce platforms, things like that. And apart from that, we also have a Shenzhen blog, and we are working on it. And we're going to have a couple of new products under the design company. It's going to be like a blog, technical blog about Shenzhen and the Silicon Valley of hardware and event management platform, things like that. I mean, you will know in the future. And this is our design community. Have you guys seen this logo before anywhere? How many of you know this logo? Okay, that's very nice. Okay, but that's good. It's good. Okay, now you can see the logo. This is Madrasters. Why we come up with this name? The community where we started is Madras. And we have more than 7,000 members in this community in India and Shenzhen. In Shenzhen alone, we reached like 1,500 members until now. So we hosted more than 12 events in Shenzhen and 40 design meetups in India, and we are working with 9 universities in India. And we are looking forward to work with Shenzhen University here. And yeah, that's pretty much. Yep, I love this quote. An entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on their way down. How many of you have a startup here? Nice. How many of you are thinking about starting a new company? Okay, that's good. And how many designers here?
How many what?
Designers.
No, design.
Are you drunk?
Everybody.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, so the things we are going to talk about here is startups and design. And startups and design have very close relationship which you cannot separate. And before we jump in, we should know about startups. Every month there is 543,000 businesses launches all over the world. You know how many of them succeed? Some people say it's 20%, and Forbes they say like 10%, Bloomberg they say like 19% somehow. So this is pretty much like they measure success based on how many years they survive in the market and how they're running their business. So and there's the many reasons they fail. Here is the top 5 reasons why they fail. It's first, it's no market needed. I mean, if you can have an innovative idea or you can develop some new technology, doesn't mean that use of that technology. In Shenzhen, you can pretty much see a lot of maker fair and some other events. You can see robots, and they claim that it's a highly artificial intelligence robots, but they didn't do anything. They do pretty much dancing and moving forward. People don't need robot like dancing robot. You guys want dancing robot in your home? No, they don't need it. So you have to evaluate the market, then you can come up with a problem-solving solution. And the second thing, they run out of cash. Of course, that's pretty much everyone. If you don't have a fund, you cannot run a company. And third, a right team. I mean, we don't need an Avengers team, but at least we need developers and programmers. You need to get the right team to get your business to reach the success. I mean, all you need like invest in the right people, and they will get things done and get all completed. That's another reason. It's not just you only have awesome idea in doing business. Everyone has ideas and they building their business, and of course there are a lot of other reasons the business get out completed. It's because of product quality or bad location or the management. There are a lot of reasons. And the last one, 19% of businesses loses. It's because of pricing issues. Because you can have like a very good solution or you can provide some services, but don't overprice your products. Evaluate with the market, then you can pricing according to the market, then you can get users. And why is design so important in startup? And that's pretty much. Design is a method of problem solving, and entrepreneurs, they're looking to solve some problems, make money. That's it. We are looking for the same thing, and it's the same. But design is not like you can execute it in many different ways. But the thing what we are looking for is like problem solving, and you can implement design in a blueprints, or you can design new UI or anything. But it's almost same. We both are trying to solve the problem which is already existing, or we develop a new technology to solve some problems. And another reason why design is so important, because the entrepreneurs have a lot of things to One, they have to care about project, they have to find resources, the budget, and goals and results. There are so many things to care about. Entrepreneurship is entrepreneur. He is the center of the startup. He has to worry about so many things, and it's easy to design. Because they think they can maybe add design in the later stage. They can improvise the UI in the later stage. But that's not true. You have to think from the beginning. Design is the key for every business. And why? It's because when you start a company, you need a face to represent out to the world. You need a face for your company. That's where it starts. Logo. You need to create a logo. And wherever, even in China, like you can see, wherever you go, you have to give a business card. It's kind of like a custom. But if you don't even have a logo, how you can go with business cards? You need to have a brand to represent. Your startup is your brand. And these are the three reasons why design comes in first for every startup. And these are the three key roles of design for startups. It can be any startup. You can sell a pizza, or you can sell some food online, or a tech startup, or you can offer some service. Maybe you need to find out, is it a product or a service? Either it comes in like any of these categories, and you have to find like a usability or a user experience. How user feel about your product. And then marketing, how you reach the customers. That's very important. We need a marketing elements. You need to design brochures, leaflets for an online market or e-commerce platform, anything. It's a marketing. And branding. Yeah, that's where this is like who you are and why they have to trust your product. That's where comes branding. Brand build the trust within the users. This is how it works. And when you think about design, start early. Design doesn't happen in a single day. You can see any design, right now out in the world. Like when you think about like Apple designs, it doesn't happen in a single day. Design is a process. Design is a research. It takes so much time. You need to put all the data together, and you have to come out with a design. That's very important. So if you're thinking about doing a design, start it early as possible. And how many of you know these brands? I think it's almost like pretty famous brands here. Typekit and Flickr, YouTube, Kickstarter. All these famous brands like built it with co-founded by designers. And especially like when you talk about Airbnb, they have an interesting case. What is the value in 2009? The company's revenue almost like flatline $200 per week in 2009. What is the worth now? It's $30 billion value. They estimated in August 2016. It's $30 billion. How they changed? from 200 to 30 million dollars. They all have like a programmer's code is, they can write like 1 billion lines of code in one day. Doesn't matter. They changed the way how it works. They implement their design thinking process in their platform, and that's how they achieved. And of course, they evaluated with like different things, and they experimented a couple of things, and that's how they developed their platform. Look at the design changes from 2008 to 2015. How many of you using Airbnb? See, it says that's how design helps you to reach the customer. Whatever it is. First, you look at the product. You are going to the supermarket and you look at the Lay's chips package. You like the design, you buy it. I mean, of course, you have less quantity. It's most filled with air. That's later. But first, the design attracts the user. And this is how pretty much I'm doing everything in China. Because I don't read Chinese. I go to the supermarket, I look at the package, I was like, okay, it's good, then buy the product. Sometimes it works, sometimes it's worth a shot, like it's crappy in here. I'm sure like you pretty much seen it once everywhere. Design is not just look like or feel like. Design is how it works. You can have like a pretty good design, like a Photoshop template or like a pretty good character, mascot, but you have to consider, what user needs from your brand, from your product, from your service. That's very important. So research is very important for every business. Then, if we keep talking about like good design, what defines good design? I mean, you guys can say anything, it's fine. It's not just only me talking and you guys are listening.
I've been writing some content for my company, and which concept that strikes me most would be from the Bauhaus concept, which is form plus function.
Okay.
So I think that much hints me on how it works and also gives catch at the time.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going to talk about after this. Okay.
Trigger
Anyone else?
emotion.
Okay.
Trigger emotion.
Okay.
I feel like good design makes the problem look simple.
Something that people doesn't perceive as a design, just something very natural.
Okay. It's more like neutral, right? It looks like so serious. That's good. So of course, Richard Rams, we cannot miss him. He's the one behind the 10 principles of good design. And most of the designers, they knew what is 10 principles. This is what we are following like every day. This is our 10 commandments, right? All the time. And he was an industrial designer. He's from Germany. And Brown, he was like closely worked with the consumer products and the company associated with Brown. You can see the products here. It doesn't change much. This is from Brown and this is Apple. It's almost like the same. And this is Xiaomi and JBL. And yeah, and pretty much like people always say that Apple, copied Ram's design. It's not like a copy, and we can say like inspired because we don't create anything new in this. We get inspired from different forms. They get inspired from maybe like nature, or they get inspired from some other things. Before like second industrial revolution, all these things was like together. Even like if you go way back, think about like Da Vinci. He's a sculptor, and he was an architect, and he's a mathematician too, and he studied anatomy as well. In the early stage, all these things were together. They practiced different disciplines, by one person. But eventually, like years changing, people focused on one discipline. After like a second industrial revolution, it's changed completely. And nowadays, there is no position called user experience designer 15 years before. Everything was graphic design. There is no web design. There is no product experience designer. We like keep inventing new positions and we choose some subjects, and we get into more detail. That's how it works. Anyway, we can talk about that later. That's a huge story. So, good design is innovative. Sometimes, if you wanted to solve a problem, you have to invent new technology. And innovative technologies goes with innovative products. Maybe like 10 or 15 years before, if someone telling you that future mobile phones is going to be touchscreen, and they even have like some voice assistants, you won't believe it. But now it's happening in robotics as well. I mean, we are the generation literally seeing the development of technologies here. We used telephones like dialing, and then we used phones with the keypads, and now we are using touchscreen. And soon it's going to be changed. Everything is going to be voice-based user interface. You don't need to touch anything. It's going to operate by your command. It's more like at your service. And good design makes product useful completely. It's like there is no added elements or anything. It's pretty much like usefulness of the whole product. And good design is aesthetic. When you say like aesthetic design, you don't need to like add element or make it beautiful. I mean, if the product is like well executed, if it's designed like carefully, that's the aesthetic. That looks beautiful. And good design makes a product understandable. You don't need a manual to use any well-designed product. It's just like you can understand when you look at the product. It's more like a self-explanatory. Like you just see the product and you know how to use it. And that's how you're supposed to design a product. And it's honest. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just a statement. Yeah, that's it. And it serves the purpose. And good design is unobtrusive. Did I say that right? Unobtrusive. Okay, that's pretty much it. It's more like serving the purpose, like tools. If you have like a knife or an axe, what are you going to do? You're going to use it for cutting some vegetables or cutting something. It's the same thing with the well-designed product. It serves the purpose, same like a tools. And it's long-lasting. Doesn't carry any fashion element or anything. You can use it like all times. This is like designed like 50 years back. Of course we can use it now. It's the same. It doesn't change. And it goes with the detail. I think pretty much we all seen this product. Even like Data Ram's product is not very famous in India, but we have seen this product in India. It reaches like, I think this product reached all over the world. I mean, wherever men have a beard. I think except China, I guess. I'm just kidding.
What is this?
It's a shaver. It's a shaver. Yeah. That's why I said like maybe it's not here in China, I guess. And good design is environmentally friendly, and this is what we are missing now. I'm pretty much sure that we don't care about environment here. I mean, we are building a lot of products, hardware, but we don't care much. I mean, so far I've seen Apple, they're doing some recycling things for their product. They collect their old phones and they recycling IC and some other parts, but still we produce so much waste in terms of electronics and gadgets and everything. Anyway, we should consider this. This is very important. And this is, you guys have seen it, like they always say less is more. So the simple design is good design. So good design, as little design as possible. So this is what most of the designers here, we follow this and design a product. We apply this in every discipline. it's not just only applied for a product design. You can use this principle for designing a logo. You can use this principle for designing websites. Look at the flat designs, what they have in Android, material design. And look at the designs for Apple apps in recent times. Everybody is going for a minimal design. It's only serves the purpose. That's the direction we are moving in now. And again, design is not just what it looks like and feels like. And so far, I've been here for like almost 3 years in China. I've been attending like a lot of startup events and meetings and a lot of meetups. But there is one thing is missing, like design is the link missing in any of the startups. Imagine a techie guy and a business guy who can handle all the numbers and a very good designer. That's the successful game. And that's the powerful game everyone is looking for. This is one thing people are asking me since we have a design community. They always come to me like finding a designer for a startup. For example, Lloyd was asking designers today, and pretty much he had a requirement for like 3 or 4 different people, but he wanted to find all these qualities within one person. That's not like pretty much easy, but some people they try like different things. They have experience, but it's not easy to find. So this is what finding a good designer for a startup. That's easy and that's very important. So this is like one way you can consider freelancers, because if you have a startup, you don't have much money to invest on a design. So most of the time for a startup companies, freelancers is the best option. And if someone believes in your idea, and this is easy to convince a designer, any designer, just give them your idea and make them curious about it, and they'll work for you. Even they will work for you free. It's easy, but you have to convince them with your idea. But otherwise, you can always go for a freelancers. And this is more like my personal statement. The last one, there is no point like, you don't need to involve like so much. It's pretty much easy since you're an entrepreneur. You own the responsibility for everything. But don't involve in, with every step of the design process if you don't know anything about design. That's it. Thank you guys.